We're back again to play some games. And we are back with Belle Automata, and let's just jump back in. So before we start, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my social media. It's always description below, and we can get started. So last time, Victor, he flirted with me a little bit. He flirted with me straight up. I guess you could say Victor has W Riz. That was Corey Kenshin. And what are we talking about right here? I already forgot. Maybe she wanted to ask about Victor? I don't know. It occurred to me that I have a way to ask someone else. A little more immediately, though.
Q, are you listening?
You know he is.
No, but I'm here if you need me. Did you need something from me?
Yes, actually.
Oh, Dr.
Could
Champion.
you get Dr. Champion's contact number to me?
I remember she wanted to talk to him. So she asked Diego to schedule an appointment. I guess she wants to call. You want to call him yourself? Because you said you were scared of phones.
Ah, yes. If you come to my room, I'll print it for you.
Thank you. I'll come meet you now.
As I walked in the hall, I hum as I go, the sound of Victor's piano melody on my mind.
I wonder if I could learn to play it. I'll have to ask Victor.
I trail off. Actually, maybe not. After all, Victor's already teaching me to clean. Man, that's so lame. And besides, it'll be fun to surprise him.
I wonder if Zafir will teach me instead.
A small twinge of excitement hits me.
Teach you what?
Get my business. Before I know it, I've arrived at Q's door.
Nothing.
I don't know why, but the idea of Q telling Victor immediately comes to mind, instantly flustering me. I echo myself.
Teach me nothing. Just talking to myself.
Okay. I'll pretend I didn't hear that then.
Thank you.
Thanks, Q.
In any case.
As I approach the other side of the door, I hear the quiet sound of typing. I take the paper, then scan the code on it so I can store the information.
Thank you, Q.
No problem.
The silence that comes after tells me that he's gone, so I can take my leave as well, walking back to my room with a bit of pep in my step. I can't wait to hear Zafir's reaction to my idea.
You want me to what?
Teach me how to play piano. Teach me everything. She wants to learn everything about music.
Oh, come on, Zafir. There's no need to be dramatic. I just want to learn the song.
Zafir crosses his arms.
Yeah, a song from Mr. Grumpy. There's no way he really created that song.
I frown at Zafir.
Come on, be fair. If I hadn't told you that I wanted to learn it, then would you be so against it?
Zafir sputters for a moment.
Well, I mean, that's not fair. It's not like I'm biased against your jerk butler friend. It's just that...
What?
That what?
It's just that I'm biased against your jerk butler friend.
Oh, come on. Victor's not that bad. He's a bit like a cat, don't you think?
Cat?
Yeah. And you know, I hear that cats, when they're babies, their eyes are different colors. So he's like a kitten. He's like a kitten.
Yes, a cat. My former master used to have one. They can be a bit standoffish, but that's what makes them cute.
Zafir groans again.
I don't know who's more delusional for going along with this. Me or...
Come on, Zafir. Help me impress him. Help me. He trails off at my bright expression and sighs in defeat.
Or me.
Come on, be my wingman. Help me out. Make me look good in front of Victor.
All right, fine. Let's hear the melody.
Sure thing.
The room falls silent as I pull up my visual recording of Victor's song and play it aloud. Zephyr listens silently until the music stops, then looks at me indignantly.
What now?
I can't believe he's this talented and has the nerve to turn down being in a band with the one and only me. It's such a waste of talent.
He sighs.
Now that I've got the song, I'll write the notes out. Later.
Okay.
So you'll do it? Really?
I will, yes. After all, what can I say? I am weak to the wiles of my fanbase.
And I'm definitely a fan. That's me. I open my mouth to protest that I'm not in his fan base. Hey, I am. But promptly shut my mouth instead.
Thank you, Zephyr. It means a lot.
Zephyr offers me a thumbs up in reply.
Besides, since we don't know when my voice will go out again, learning the melody should be easier. Zephyr, you're the best.
And don't I know it?
Thank you. Hello? Disappointed?
Linthus?
His voice floats to me in darkness, low and familiar. Aureve, I'm disappointed in you. For why?
What have I done?
It's not what you've done. It's what you're doing.
What I'm doing?
You're turning your back on everything I've taught you. Music, Aureve?
Father,
Don't call me that. No daughter of mine would choose a mere hobby over the craft I've helped her hone for 60 years. What about my legacy? Our legacy? I fall silent, tightness in my chest. Linthus shakes his head at me. How can I express the lightness I feel when I hear the melodies made by another's hand? In silence, Linthus turns away. I try to shout after him, but my voice disappears, leaving me to reach out after Linthus as he silently retreats into the darkness. I wake up to the sound of polite knocking at my door. What was that? Why would Linthus... I mean, it wasn't the real Linthus, but still. Sitting up, I do a quick rotation of my joints.
I wonder who that could be.
B. I grimace at the sound of my own voice. I wonder if I really did break something inside of myself. Oh, hey. Open the door. I recognize Dr. Champion right away. I know, why are you always here? Victor, why are you always here? I really don't need you to be here during my doctor's visit. This is a private session, Victor. I love ya, but please leave. Open the door. I recognize Dr. Champion right away. I notice Victor has accompanied him through, and I wonder if the doctor had gotten lost again on the way in. You know he has.
Good morning, Aureve.
Good morning, Dr. Champion.
I wince.
Oh, I see. This is what you were speaking of, Victor? No wonder you were worried.
My eyes flick to Victor. Worried?
I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I am not one who emotes well. You know that.
True, but sometimes you...
My throat wobbles again, so Dr. Champion holds up his hand.
Diagnostic first, arguing later.
Victor tries to follow him into the room, but the doctor stops him.
Where are you going?
Where do you think you're going?
I have taken it upon myself to personally monitor and manage the health of...
Dr. Champion looks at me.
And he says he's not worried about you.
Victor looks aghast.
I will not be shut out. It is very important that I...
The Dr. Champion slides the door shut, right in Victor's face. I stand there wide-eyed.
You know, I don't mind if he comes in.
I take doctor-patient confidentiality very seriously.
He grins mischievously, and suddenly I'm reminded Victor was there for my first diagnostic. Is Klaus purposely antagonizing Victor? I want to ask why, but Klaus gestures for me to sit and takes a moment to put me into safe mode.
Now, first things first. Please call me Klaus, when you can speak again, of course.
Okay.
Second things second, I'll need you to lie back as I remove your neck attachment joint.
You gonna take my head off? I nod, not wanting to give the doctor any more trouble. As I lay there, he moves around me gently, telling me what he's doing before he even starts to do it.
I'm removing the head unit from the neck joint. It'll feel a little strange.
He disconnects me from my body unit, then sets me, or at least my head, aside.
That's what I like about classic androids. So much easier to fix.
He tingles around my throat.
Sorry, I know it's boring of me to just talk procedure, but if you can't speak, I feel you may as well hear me for a little bit.
What you want to talk about?
I hope you've been enjoying living here. I know Victor is not the most warm of compatriots, but he is well-intentioned.
Yeah, he's sweet. I like him. Klaus looks thoughtfully for a moment.
I've never seen him show such concern for someone else. That's certainly an interesting twist of personality.
I can't speak, but my lips tilt upward into a tentative smile.
Oh, that makes you happy, does it? It's quite a feat, I must say. Well, I suppose I'm rooting for you both, in whatever way that turns out.
Thank you. Whatever way what turns out. I shut my eyes thoughtfully as Klaus takes a peek at my vocal synthesizer. Is he talking about Victor's relationship with me? I didn't think there was anything special about the way he treated. My thoughts trail off. True, he didn't seem like Zephyr very much, and while his relationship with Diego seemed positive, it's not like I've seen him particularly concerned about him. Maybe it's because he seeks my approval? I decide that's what it is, but in truth, it doesn't really match up with Victor's image. It doesn't really match up with the way he leaned on my shoulder and whispered in my ear. Does Victor want to hug me? I feel just as flustered considering it as I did when he looked at me that way. So I can acknowledge that Victor treats me differently, but I wonder what it is then that makes Victor do so. It's 'cause you're so cute.
My. That's an interesting range of emotion on your face there.
Get off of me. He lets out a huffy breath.
My assessment of your throat is over, but I'm afraid... Well, let me put you back together before I give you the news.
Don't tell me I'm gonna die. He reinstalls my head piece back onto my neck, clasping the metal bar to securely lock my head into place.
What seems to be the problem then, Doctor?
Unfortunately, there isn't one. It seems that your throat is 100% operational, at least from a physical standpoint.
You say it's in my head?
Well, nothing appears to be physically wrong with you.
You said it's mentally? Dang. I need therapy. Do you do therapy, doctor? He lifts a finger.
Now, I know you must be thinking, clearly there's something wrong with me. I mean, my throat is definitely malfunctioning, and with that, I agree. I'm just afraid that the problem is here.
My head? He taps the side of his head lightly, exactly.
Rather than in here.
His hand moves to his throat.
So, you're saying...
It may be psychosomatic, a mental block of some kind that is affecting you physically because you're going through something mentally.
Do you do therapy?
I see.
Is there something bothering you lately?
I hesitate.
Well...
I think of the dream I had, the terrible one. I wasn't even aware I was capable of dreams, but I confessed as much to the doctor.
I had a strange dream recently.
I shudder uncomfortably.
A nightmare, if I'm honest.
A nightmare?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I was in sleep mode, and images appeared, only they weren't real. They felt real, but I knew they weren't because, well, for one thing, the things that happened felt impossible, and for another, I opened my eyes.
Lenthus will never talk to you like that.
I see.
Ever. He reached into his pocket for a pencil and a small pad. Interestingly, I'm pretty sure it's an analog pen and paper. It's a rarity for sure, but somehow I'm not surprised. He jots down a few notes.
What happened in this nightmare?
Not you actually being my therapist. I was just joking. I hesitate, looking down my hands.
What do you know about my life before I came here, Klaus?
Very little, though I am certainly curious to know.
Before I came here, the man who taught me everything I knew about creating, the closest thing I had to a father, he died. Lenthus was his name.
I am sorry to hear that, Aureve.
Thanks, Klaus.
Did you dream of your father then?
I nod.
He was disappointed in me. He taught me everything. And I can't help but feel that by learning music, that I'm turning my back on him.
I can understand. After all, we never want to disappoint the ones we look up to. Isn't that right?
You can't multitask? You can't be well-rounded? I nod again, this time more slowly.
Tell me, Doctor, do you think my father would have been disappointed in me for choosing music over crafting? Lately, I find myself more prone to humming than dreaming up quilts.
In truth, that is not an answer I can give you.
My gaze drops to my hands.
Of course not. I just don't know what to do to reconcile these two sides of myself. This new side of me that loves music, and the side of me that has always been my purpose.
Klaus twirls his thumb for a moment, before letting out a quiet sound.
I suppose all I can do is ask you this. At the end of the day, whose opinion is truly the one that matters?
Mine!
I know I should say mine, but
But
it doesn't feel that way. Instead, it feels more like if I don't start weaving soon, I'm turning my back on Lenthus's legacy, and I don't know. That makes me feel like a terrible person.
How?
I promised to start projects when I first got here that I haven't thought about since, and that makes me feel even worse.
Klaus smiles at me, reaching out to pat my shoulders.
one thing you'll come to learn is that people are rarely terrible. Selfish, perhaps, or even self-centered. But wanting to follow a dream and committing yourself to completing tasks that need to be done, such as cleaning, hardly qualifies you as terrible either.
Klaus takes a deep breath.
Do you want my advice? Truly?
I do.
As a rogue, you are on the cusp of a brand new world. Your master has established who he was. Maybe it's time for you to do the same.
His hand shifts lower to the side of my arm.
For yourself.
But what does that mean, Doctor?
It means you should form your own relationships, find your own likes and dislikes, and
Klaus smiles.
figure out the rest on your own, like other rogues and humans do.
Klaus stands suddenly.
Now then, I ought to retrieve my things and get out of your hair.
He packs silently for a moment, and all of a sudden,
Aureve? Are you alright? I heard you had a diagnostic with Klaus this morning, and I was worried, so
I'm still here, Mr. Price.
there's an abrupt silence.
You're not alone?
I wince, feeling embarrassed for him.
I'm not. No.
Oh.
I mean, you've talked to him before. He's even seen you before. Right?
Are you okay, though?
His voice suddenly timid. I'm overcome with the desire to comfort him.
I'm fine, Hugh. Just, getting some life advice.
Excellent advice, I might add. Your voice sounds all cleared up. Call me a miracle worker, I suppose.
Voice?
I was, I guess, having problems with my vocal synthesizer.
Oh. I see. I'm glad you're all patched up.
Yep, I'm as right as rain. Or I will be. But, since we're all here, if you haven't, you should talk to Klaus about your little listening problem.
What's he gonna do? Right as rain. I'm right as rain. Right as rain. I never know what that means. Listening problem.
Listening problem?
Klaus frowns.
Are you still observing the world around you instead of engaging with it as I instructed? Perhaps I should let Victor know after all.
Don't be a snitch.
No! I'll work on it. I promise. Just let me do it at my own pace, and I promise I'll get my act together. I promise.
Or not you getting him in trouble. Not you getting him in trouble. Klaus and I exchange looks.
Why don't you listen in on me the next time I'm working on something? We can chat a little, and maybe I can introduce you to someone in the house.
Zephyr.
That sounds
Terrifying.
excellent.
We'll work out the details later. For now, I'll just be going. Bye for now, Q. And thank you, Klaus. I'll think about what you said.
Klaus nods as Q sighs over the loudspeaker, sounding defeated.
Good day to you, Aureve. May your self-discovery go well and your personal relationships blossom.
Thank you. You're so sweet, Klaus. I like you a lot. I can't wait to romance you. Speaking of blossoming, I'm going to end this. I was about to say something really inspirational, but I forgot it. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my social media. It's always just below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.